started the Green Army because of what happened at Bayou Corn, where the government allowed a company to destroy a way of life of an entire community. If you do something one time, we call it a mistake. If you do it 3 times, we call it stupid. Because a few years before Bayou Corn, we lost Grand Bayou. And 30 years ago, we lost Jefferson Island. And that's the ones we know about. There are others that are not published. Because we come to a conclusion in Louisiana to remind those who represent us in government. And to speak of that, our nation formed the idea of having a central government for security of the people, so that communities could live together. Then they did other innovative things, like sanitation programs in schools. And people bought in that and they submit themselves to a government because the government provided security. Ladies and gentlemen, what I witnessed in that house this year, that when we walked up and said we want to talk about water, they laughed at us. We've got to come here and beg permission to talk about saving the water, because people have a human right to clean water. Clean land and safe food. But we stand right here in the shadow of this lake that is polluted. And it's been allowed to be polluted by the people that work in this house and repetitive leaders that have served, that lived in this house behind us, and the ones that serve over here. When we talked about clean water, who were we talking to? Committees in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. People who sat there and looked at you and said, okay, we need to hurry up now. We don't have much time. And what we ended up talking about was talking about clean water, clean air, safe food, safe land. And what they tell us, hey, we understand what you say. Thanks for your volunteering. Thanks for serving. And then they take the note from Big Oil. And they take the Big Oil donations. And who you think they voted for? Well, look around you. What sign do you see over there in front of the governor's mansion? I don't have nothing against Dow Chemical. We are here today because some of the stuff they make. But it sends a strong subliminal message that our government is owned by the industry, it's owned by Big Oil. They have hijacked our democracy, but we got a problem. We've got to figure out how we're going to get our democracy back. Look, when Big Oil had a meeting about talking about us, they had a big tent set outside the Capitol. They had hors d'oeuvres. And they had a bunch of hooter ladies come out and pass out hors d'oeuvres. No, I just made that up. No, nothing against hooter. But they had a world-class, look like the side of a polo field when the rich folks go out and do something. That's what they looked like. They had a professional sound system, Mike. They had a media expert. They had a backup sound system. Why? Because that's what you can do when you take that big oil money and you spread it around Louisiana. But ladies and gentlemen, it's being spread around on a very thin layer at the top. We're the 3rd largest energy producer in America, and we're the 2nd poorest state.